Hi, everyone. Welcome to my class. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my speaker to work, and it is not. Okay, well, silent class then. So, my name is Carla. I'm a yoga instructor. I teach every Monday from 4 to 5. Today, we're going to be doing a 50-minute vinyasa with a focus on the back. So, a little bit of back opening, some back bends. Yeah, so with that, let's get started. Hold on, let me fix this. There we go. So to start off, find a comfortable seat on the mat with your sit bones touching the ground beneath you. Place both hands on your thighs and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath in and deep exhale out. And 1 more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And from here, I invite you to set an intention today for your practice. When your intention has been set, or whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes and let's get started. Oh, actually. Okay, so to start off, place your hands out to your sides, touching the mat still, and take a deep breath in and lift your shoulders up high to your ears. Then as you exhale, roll them back, push them back behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, and lift the chin. Keeping this position of the chest on your next inhale, lift the arms high above your head, bring them together above the head, and lean back a little bit more. And on your next inhale, bring the spine back to neutral position, but keep the arms above your head. And intertwine the fingers like this. As you inhale, flip the palms so they're facing the ceiling and push up, 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 up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, release the arms and let them touch the mat. And now shake out the arms a little bit. Oh, some cracks on my end. And then stretch out both of your legs so that they're straight out in front of you. And as you inhale, lift up the toes, press the knees down, and just flex the feet a little bit. Maybe wiggle the toes, try and spread them out a bit. And then as you exhale, point the feet. Inhale, flex. And let the feet return to a neutral position and place your hands on your thighs and shake out the legs a little bit. Then make your hands little fists and slowly tap down the tops of your legs. You can do the sides too and the insides just for a little massage. Then finish up your last one and bend those knees. Place the feet flat in front of you. And take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, send both of the knees over to the left. Then pick them up, bring them back to center, and then as you exhale, send them over to the right. And keep doing this, just going back and forth. Little windshield wipers. Just kind of warm up the legs, warm up the hip flexors, the hip sockets. And then come back to center. Bring your feet together right in front of you for butterfly. And grab your ankles and flap your butterfly a little bit. Place both hands in front of you. Take a deep breath in. Lift the chest. And then as you exhale, slowly walk forward. Just as far as is comfortable. Just for a comfortable stretch, nothing super crazy. And hold here for one breath. And then on your next inhale, walk your way back up and meet me in table. In table, keep your hands, shins, and knees flat against the mat. And we're going to do a little cat-cow. So as you inhale, arch the spine down towards the mat, lift the chest, and lift the chin. And then as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, push the middle of the spine up towards the ceiling, spread the shoulder blades. And then inhale, arch the spine, lift the chin. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, bring the spine up. And inhale, arch the spine. And then come back to a neutral position on the mat. Walk the hands in front of you about a few inches. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, keeping the elbows in close, bring your chest down to the mat so that your front body is flat down on the mat. Now, move your arms so that your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. As you exhale, bring the whole front body down towards the mat so that your forehead is touching. And then on your next inhale, keeping the forearms flat against the mat, you want to inhale and lift up the chest for Sphinx pose. And then exhale, bring yourself back down. And inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale back down. And then 2 more times on your own. After your last one, you want to keep your hands where they are, but you want to lift the head off of the mat just about 4 inches. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up that right leg just a few inches off of the mat. Here you want to keep your hips still touching the mat, both hips. And just hold, point the toes. Kind of feel a little warm up there. Then as you exhale, bring that leg back down. And inhale, lift up the left leg. Then on your next exhale, lower down that leg. Bring the head down or the forehead down to the mat one more time. Point those toes, get the legs engaged, and on your next inhale, we're going to lift up the forearms, the chest, and the legs together. So inhale and lift. You want your ankles to be off of the mat about 4 inches and your forearms to be about the same. You're just going to hold. Now on your next inhale, you want to reach forward that right hand. keeping it straight. Then on your next inhale, you want to reach out that left hand. Then on your next exhale, you want to slowly bring the body down. Take a second here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to come back up, lifting the feet and the hands about 4 or 5 inches off of the mat. So inhale and lift. A main pointer in this pose is that you want your hands and your legs to be lifted above the mat about the same height. And then on your next exhale, bring the body down. Bend the elbows again. Tuck them in so that they are directly under the shoulders once more. Lifting up the chest. This time we're only going to lift up the legs. So you can bring down the chest so that basically the last thing touching is your sternum, but you want to keep the head lifted. On your next inhale, lift up that right leg. Exhale, bring it down. And inhale, pick up the left. Hold. See how high up you can lift that leg while keeping your hips flat on the mat. Exhale, lower it back down. And then in your next inhale, you want to lift up both legs. See if you can keep the stomach and the sternum still touching the mat. You want to make sure that those legs aren't spreading out too wide. You want to keep them in close. And on that note, we're going to try and tap our heels together 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Then exhale, bring them down. And then on your next inhale, you can bring your hands underneath the shoulders, push yourself up, back to table, flip the toes, engage the core, and on your next inhale, we're going to lift up the knees about 4 inches off the mat. Should feel a good stretch in your feet here, as well as a good little warm up for the core. Then in your next inhale, you're going to straighten the knees and push the body back to downward dog. From here, walk your dog. So bend one knee, straighten the other, bend the other, and straighten the opposite one, pushing the heel down towards the mat. Just keep doing this, stretching out behind the legs, the hamstrings, the calves. Then in your next inhale, we're going to lift up that left leg, bring it high to the sky. Bend that left knee, push the heel into the glute, and send it over to the right side. Keeping your shoulders parallel with the mat, but you still want to have some arch in that spine. Then exhale, bring that knee into your chest. So it's touching the front body. And as you exhale, push yourself forward. And hold here for a second. We want to stay strong and stabilized. And then place that foot in between the hands and lower down that right knee. Flip the toes so that the top of the foot is touching the mat. As you inhale, place both hands on the top of your thigh. Just kind of push forward. You want to feel as if that right hip flexor is trying to touch the mat. So you want to really be pushing that down. As you exhale, you want to slowly be pushing the pelvis down while pushing the chest back and tilt the chin. Then on your next inhale, you want to straighten that left knee, Walk the hands in front of you to frame it, keeping the shoulders squared. You want to tuck the chin and bring the front body forward for a nice hamstring stretch. Then as you inhale, rock forward, place that front foot flat on the mat, but keep your hands framing it. Now you want to flip the back toes so that they're touching the mat. Squeeze the core and straighten that back knee. So now you're in a high lunge. Take a moment and get stabilized with the legs. Switch up your positioning a little bit if you need to. Maybe bring the feet a little bit closer together. Squeeze the core, and on your next inhale, lift up those arms for high lunge. From here, you really want that shin to be completely perpendicular with the mat. You're going to be keeping those hips squared, still pressing down that hip flexor down towards the mat and the bottom of the glute, of the left glute. As you inhale, lift those arms up above your head, bring them together, lift the chest, lift the spine, and do a slight back bend. And as you inhale, come back up. Place that left hand on the left thigh, right hand on the right thigh. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, you want to slowly slide that right hand down that right thigh for a mini back bend. You can look behind you and then slide it back up. As you inhale, lift up those arms one more time. And keeping that front knee bent, we're going to hop forward, bring our right foot to meet it into chair. We're just going to hold this for a couple of seconds. And then on your next inhale, you want to straighten those legs. Keep those arms above your head. Place the palms together. Take a deep breath in. Lift the chest. And then as you exhale, bring the pelvis forward, the chest back for a mini back bend. And on your next inhale, you want to bring the chest back up, the spine back in neutral. Take a deep breath in. Lift the arms, lift the shoulders. Release the arms and swan dive down. As you inhale, place the hands on the shins, straighten the elbows, lengthen the spine, and look up. And then as you exhale, bring the chest, the front body towards the front of the thighs, and bring the head down. Place the hands on the mat and walk out into plank. As you exhale, bring the knees down towards the mat. Flip the toes so that the tops of the feet are touching the mat. Keeping the elbows in close. As you exhale, bring that chest down, chin follows, and then as you inhale, straighten those elbows, bring the pelvis down, and look up for upward dog. As you inhale, come back into table. Spread out the thighs, or the knees, so that the knees are touching the ends of the mat, or the edges of the mat. And as you exhale, send that pelvis down and back. Bring the chin down towards the mat or the forehead. And just take a couple of breaths here. Just reground yourself for a minute. And then on your next inhale, bring yourself back up. Bring the knees back closer together. Flip the toes so that the bottoms of the toes are touching the mat. Lift the knees, lift the pelvis, and push back into downward dog. And then on your next inhale, lift up that right leg, bring it high to the sky. Bend that right knee, push that right heel into the right glute, and keeping the shoulders parallel with the mat, send it over to the left side. You still want to be stretching out that spine a little bit. Then as you exhale, bring that right knee into the chest. Push forward, hold here for a breath. and place that foot in between the hands. And then bring that left knee down, flip the toe so the top of the foot is touching the mat, and place both hands on the tops of the right thigh. On your next exhale, you want to start pushing that front knee forward and your chest back while pushing that left hip flexor down towards the mat. You're going to be feeling a really good stretch here in that left hip flexor. As you exhale, place both hands in front of you, frame that foot, and straighten that front knee. Front body comes down for a nice little hamstring stretch. Then rock forward, place that front foot flat on the mat. Flip the back toes so that the bottoms of the toes are touching the mat. And on your next inhale, straighten that back knee, or that left knee. And take a moment here, stabilize your stance. Bring the feet a little bit closer together if you need to. Squeeze the core, and whenever you're ready, lift up those arms. High lunge. Make sure the hips are really squared here. We're keeping still the same positioning as we had before. You want to really keep pushing that left hip flexor back and that front knee forward. You want that shin to be perpendicular with the mat. And you want that knee to be right on top of that ankle. Bring the hands together on top of your head. Take a deep breath in, and if you can, slowly lean back for a little back bend. And as you inhale, come back up. Place that right hand on that right thigh, left hand on that left thigh. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly slide that left hand back down the thigh for another little back bend. And then bring that hand back up. Lift up both the arms. And just hold. Start putting a little bit more of your weight in that right foot. We're going to hop forward, bring that left foot to meet it, and into chair. Take a deep breath in and hop that left foot forward, meet the legs, and sink down into chair. We're going to hold chair for 3 breaths. And on your next inhale, straighten those legs. Bring those arms up high overhead, stretch them up high to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, swan dive down. On your next inhale, bring both hands to your shins. Lengthen the spine, look up. And then as you exhale, bring that front body down to the front of the thighs. Head down. Place both hands down onto the mat and walk out into high plank. As you exhale, bring both knees down. Flip the toes so the tops of the toes are touching the mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly send that chest forward until it touches the mat, chin follows. Then your next inhale, you're going to straighten those elbows, push that chest up, and bring that pelvis down for upward dog. And lift that chin up, nice little back bend here. And on your next inhale, come back up into table. Flip those toes so that the bottoms of the toes are touching the mat. Straighten the knees and push that pelvis up and back. I'm just going to hang out in dog for a second. It's a position I like a lot. Really feel those heels pushing down and those hip bones, or no, those sit bones pushing up. So you're really stretching out the back of the legs because you have the tops pushing up and the bottom pushing down, creating as much length as possible. You want to feel as if you're pushing off of the mat, pushing yourself back with your hands as well. Then on your next inhale, you want to slowly lift up that left leg, high to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring it into your chest, push forward, place that foot in between the hands, lift the arms up, high lunge, and then slowly rotate that back foot so it's perpendicular with the front and parallel with the back of the mat. You want to rotate those arms so that they're parallel with the mat. One's pointing forward, one's pointing back. Warrior two. As you inhale, you want to reach forward over that left knee. Reach forward as far as you can go. When you've gone as far as you can go, bend that left elbow, place that left forearm on your left thigh. Lift that right arm up and over. Bring that right bicep close to the right ear. And really stretch out that right side. If you want a little bit more of a core burn here, you can release that left hand and just kind of sweep it under you. Almost like a little ballet stance. We're going to stay in this position with our torso. We're going to lift up that right hand so it's perpendicular to the mat. And then we're going to release that left hand and come down onto just our fingertip pads on the inside of the left leg. And look up at your thumb, little side angle. On your next inhale, lift up those arms back to warrior two. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to really reach that right arm back as far as it can go towards that back wall, little back bend. And then when it's gone as far as you can go, exhale, place that right hand on the back of the right thigh, lift up that left hand, up and over for a nice little back bend. Make sure, again, you're not putting all of your weight into that right hand. You're still keeping the integrity of the pose. On your next inhale, we're going to straighten that left leg. Bring our arms back up, parallel to the mat, and just keep them going forward. For triangle, look up at that right arm. Again, you want both arms to be making a straight line, perpendicular to the floor. And as you exhale, we're going to bring that right hand down, meet the left. Grab onto maybe your ankle, your calf, your thigh. Keeping that back foot, keeping the integrity of that back foot. So you really want the outside of the right foot to keep touching the mat to protect our knees. You're going to lift up that left hand for revolved triangle. And exhale, bring that left hand down. And then sweep up that right arm behind you and come back up. Now you're going to rotate that front foot so it's parallel with the back. Keep the arms lifted, keep your body at a T. And you're going to slightly scoot your heels in a tiny bit. Once your heels are in position, you're going to slowly start bending that right knee. Bring that right hand down, lift up that left. Then inhale, straighten that right knee, come back up. Exhale, bend that left knee, bring that left hand down, sweep that right hand up. Inhale, come back up. And we're just going to do that switching sides about 4 more times. So exhale, right knee bends, right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, left knee bends, left hand comes down. You always want to keep your arms in a straight line. Inhale, and then exhale, come down over to the right side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale over to the left. And then do this 2 more times on your own. Make sure to follow your breath. After your last one, come back to center. Lift up those arms high to the sky. Lean back a little bit, and as you exhale, lean forward. Opposite hand grabs opposite elbow here, and just let yourself hang. You can shift the weight of the hips around a little bit. If you want, let yourself rock back and forth. Shake the head no, nod it yes. Then walk both hands over to the right so that they're framing your right foot. Rotate that right foot so that it's facing, or that it's perpendicular with, well, I guess now the front of the mat. Bend that right knee. Lift up that left hand. Right hand follows. Warrior 2, but on the right side. On your next inhale, you're going to reach forward as far as you can in front of you. Really reach that right hand as far as it can go. When you've gone as far as you can go, bend that right forearm, place it on the right thigh. Left hand comes up. Bring that left elbow close to that left, bring that left bicep close to that left ear. Look up. Again, you don't want all of your weight to be on this right side or on this right forearm here. You want to be keeping the integrity of the pose. Again, just like last time, if you want a little core burn, release that right hand, tuck it under. Then from here, you're going to straighten that left arm up. Release that right hand down. Have those right fingertips come down to the mat on the inside of the right leg or foot, and look up for side angle. Then on your next inhale, you're going to lift up the body back to warrior 2. Whew. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to reach that left hand back behind us as far as it can go. When it's gone as far as it goes, place it down onto that left leg. Right arm comes up and slightly over. Look up at that right thumb, keeping that right knee bent. And as you inhale, you want to straighten that right knee, keeping these arms in line with each other. You want to inhale, pick those arms up parallel to the mat, and then keep going forward, tilt forward, until that right hand comes down, perpendicular to the mat. For triangle pose, you can place your right hand on your shin, your thigh, the mat, wherever is comfortable for you. You really want to be feeling a good stretch in that left side and in that right hamstring. Then on your next exhale, you want to bring that left hand down to meet the right. Bring your chest so it's parallel with the mat, and keeping that back or outside of that left foot touching the mat, and press down so we don't hurt our back knee. You want to slowly lift up that right hand over to the right side and twist your body to the right side for Revolve Triangle. On your next exhale, bring that right hand down. Lift that left hand back up again. Make those arms a T. Put a slight bend in that front knee. Pick your body back up. Fully bend that front knee. Warrior two. Now we're going to reach forward one more time over that right knee. Windmill those arms down to frame the front foot. Right hand coming first, left hand following it. Rotate that back foot so you're back on the ball of the foot. Place both hands down flat onto the mat. Bring that right foot back to meet the left, high plank. On your next exhale, bring those knees down. Flip the toes so the tops of the toes are touching the mat. Keeping those elbows in close. You want to send them straight behind you. Chest comes forward and down. Then chin follows when it reaches the mat. Straighten those elbows, bring the pelvis down, and lift the chest up. And on your next inhale, you want to bend those knees, bring yourself back into table. Flip the toes so that the bottoms of the toes are touching the mat. Straighten those knees, push the pelvis back behind you. On your next exhale, walk your hands forward so that they are about a foot or maybe just a couple of inches further than they were before. And push back, feeling that spine stretch. On your next exhale, bring those elbows down towards the mat for Dolphin Pose. You want to make sure that those wrists are flat on the mat to give you the most stability, and that your elbows are directly shoulder width apart, no more, no less. Then as you exhale, you're going to shoot that body forward so that your body is parallel with the mat for Forearm Plank. And then on your next exhale, slowly sink the body down, bring the hips down, back into Sphinx pose. Then as you exhale, slowly lower that chest down. Bring your hands underneath those elbows. Bring your hands underneath those shoulders. And as you inhale, we're going to lift up the chest and the legs. So inhale, up. We're going to hold this for 2 breaths. On your last breath, slowly bring yourself down. And then we're going to do this 3 more times, but you can do it on your own. So inhale, lift, hold for 2 breaths. Again, you want that chest and your legs to be above the mat at the same height. Exhale down, 3 more times. Inhale, lift and hold. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Then one last time, inhale, lift. And this time, bend those knees. And if you would like, you can reach that left hand back See if you can grab that left ankle. Bend that right knee, pushing that right ankle into the glute, and reach that right hand back. See if you can grab that right ankle. If you have grabbed your ankles, or if that's something that you wish to do, if not, that is okay. Then slowly push those ankles back, lifting the chest, using the back and glute muscles to help you. In boat pose, and then you want to slowly push those ankles down towards the glutes, lowering your chest down. Let the chest come all the way down, and then have the hands release the ankles. Bring them down to your sides. Straighten those legs. And take a moment here. Give the spine a second to relax. Then on your next inhale, you want to push yourself up, back to table. Spread out those legs so both of the knees are touching the sides of the mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, push the sit bones back. Bring the chest forward. Forehead touches the mat for child. Whenever you're ready, you can come back up to table. And from here, find a comfortable seat onto the mat. You want to place both of your feet in front of you. And lift up that left knee. Hug it into your chest. Grab that left ankle, place it on the outside of that right thigh. Hug it in again. We'll wrap that right forearm around that left thigh. Hug it into your chest. Really pull it up. And then as you exhale, let that left foot sink back down, touching the mat. From here, you want to make sure that your sit bones are making good contact with the mat. So you're going to inhale, lift up that spine as high as it can go. Really feel the crown of the head reaching upwards. You're going to reach that arm up behind you, or up above you. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly twist those shoulders over to the left side. Exhale, bring that left hand down. Look behind you and twist. Then your next inhale, slowly rotate the body forward. Release that leg. And then as you inhale, pick up that right leg, hug it into your chest, place that right foot on the outside of the left leg, wrap that left forearm around that right thigh, and then as you inhale, lift the chest and hug that right thigh into your chest. And then let that right foot place down onto the mat on the outside of that left thigh. Then as you inhale, slowly lift up that right hand, lift the chest, lift the crown of the head up high. And then as you exhale, slowly twist those shoulders back over to the right. And then as you exhale, let that right hand come down behind you and look all the way behind you for a twist. And then on your next inhale, slowly twist those shoulders forward. Release that right leg and take both of your hands and place them behind you with your palms facing towards the back and then your fingertips facing behind you. Once those hands are flat on the mat behind you, straighten those elbows, lift that chest, and look up for staff pose. Then as you exhale, come back to center. Bring those knees up. Wrap both hands around your shins. Hug those knees into your chest. And then as you exhale, slowly roll back. From here, let the right foot meet the mat. Left foot follows. Find a comfortable position. Well, find your spine in a neutral position. With both feet flat on the mat, hips width apart. And push those shoulder blades together and kind of tuck those shoulders underneath you. And then press those heels into the mat. Squeeze the core. And on your next inhale, you're going to push those hips up and squeeze the glutes. And hold for glute bridge. I'm going to try and bring your hips up as high as you possibly can. And we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. And then on your next exhale, slowly sink that spine down into the mat, one vertebrae at a time. When the entire back body is touching the mat, as you exhale, release that right leg down onto the mat. Left leg follows. Make any adjustments you need to get more comfortable. It's letting your feet flop out, letting the hands relax, come out by your sides. Start trying to slow down your breathing, taking deep, even breaths. And from here, take a moment and reflect your intention, or reflect on your intention that you set for today. Take a moment and try and ground yourself in this moment before you sink into Shavasana. Feel your body supported by the mat beneath you, the mat supported by the ground. Feel your clothes on your body, the feel of the fabric, the texture. Feel the temperature of the room. Tune into any noises that you hear around you, to any smells. You want to bring yourself into the here and the now for complete mindfulness. And then ground yourself internally. Is there anything your body needs? Is there anything it's asking from you? Check in with yourself. Is there anything you need? Let your thoughts float on by. You can observe them, but don't fight them and don't engage them. Just exist in a moment of peace, of silence. If you would like to stay in Shavasana, I invite you to do so. This is your practice. But if not, I invite you to slowly roll over onto your right side. Rest your head on that inside of that right arm. Using your left hand, push yourself up into a comfortable seat. Close the eyes. Place the hands onto the thighs. Bow the head. And take a moment of gratitude to thank yourself, to thank your body for taking this time out of your day for your practice and for you. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And that's my practice. Thank you for everyone that tuned in to the live and everybody that is watching this later. Namaste. I will see you next Monday.